YouTube drafting creator-on-creator harassment rules after Steven Crowder incident. No further details on what that means.
YouTube, why do you keep trying to do these things to me? I am but poor YouTuber in office made of brick and mortar and nothing else, just trying to put food on table, just trying to entertain the people, the subscribers. My lighting consists of a desk lamp right there, and strip lights above me. You call me Russian bot, but I'm not bot. Look, I have Lucozade. Look, I drink it. Look. No. It is delicious, yes. I'm just simply trying to create video, and why do you do this to me, huh? Why do you do this? They make fun of my potatoes. They drink my vodka. What am I supposed to do? Das Vidanya, ladies and gentlemen. Das Vidanya. Vodka is good, yeah. I think my Russian accent went a bit Italian at the end there, didn't it? Hello, everybody. My name is Alex, and welcome back to the ImAlexx channel. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about YouTube's incoming inbound policies as stated by Susan Wojcicki surrounding harassment on the platform. Over the last 6 months or so, there have been several incidents, some huge dramas that have happened on the platform that have resulted in people being dogpiled unnecessarily and incorrectly, false allegations, ImAlexx, and of course there was the Carlos Mazza Steven Crowder thing, which resulted in many a channel not only being demonetized, but many were completely deleted as well and just yeet off the platform as well. Some of the channels that were yeeted weren't even controversial. Some of them were educational in nature. Some of them were music instrumental channels, which I'll never understand. Some of my fellow content creators completely lost their monetization. Some of them weren't even conservatives or right wing at all. It's really, really weird. And YouTube will be introducing new harassment policies. Now, usually when YouTube announces a new policy or hints at a new one, creators, they go into headless chicken mode, you know. We're gonna lose our channels are gonna die. But this time, I think that we are more than a little bit justified in this. More than a little bit justified, considering what YouTube did last time to curb the supposed mass harassment on the platform. Now, guys, I get it. I understand it. Seriously, I understand dogpiling. I've been dogpiled before. It's happened to me. I've been jumped on by not just YouTubers, but a bunch of weirdos on Twitter and things like that. It's not a nice thing, especially when they start making threats against your person. You know, I had it, I think it was last year or the year before, and a video that I made on the other channel resulted in quite a big dogpiling that, ended up on, I was dogpiled on YouTube, I was dogpiled on Twitter. And it wasn't a very nice thing. I had people spamming pictures of my own face at me, which, had me a little bit concerned. It had me a little bit concerned. And of course, there have been some recent dramas that have resulted in mass sub-loss for some YouTubers, including people like James Charles. And of course, there's the situation with ImAlexx and Slazo. But of course, those are false allegations. And I don't know whether you'd put that into harassment. But either way, those things, they happen, and it's never good. It's never good. Now, historically, for as long as I've been watching YouTube, YouTubers have policed the platform themselves. A couple of years back, way before the NCO, way before people like Tro and people like that, the big commentary channels, they were the ones who would hunt down scummy behavior on the platform and call it out. And usually it would work fine. And it's not that they're not doing a good enough job these days. It's that the mainstream media has become so involved with YouTube, and monetization has become such a big issue with the advertisers and the platform itself, that YouTube needs to be seen to be doing something. Now, personally, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have YouTube get themselves involved in this. Because when YouTube implements a new policy or a new program or a new feature, it's usually done in such a way that it affects many content creators and people who watch the content in a bad way. It affects them in a negative way, negative impact. The original adpocalypse and the most recent adpocalypse are perfect examples of this. At this point, it's not even about money for many content creators. Being monetized means getting into the algorithm. It means getting eyes on your content. It means growing. Without that, when you get that yellow symbol, YouTube doesn't often push that. YouTube doesn't often push videos that have the yellow symbol on them. It can happen. It can happen. But 9 times out of 10, YouTube doesn't, and thus content creators suffer for it. So YouTube wants to introduce these new harassment policies, and as usual, they didn't communicate what that would look like and what that would mean. Susan Wojcicki announced it back in April. Neil Moen at the recent VidCon keynote speech referenced it, but no further details. I can't help but beg the question, what kind of form is this going to come in? Is this going to be a brand new bot that somehow looks at the titles and tags of your video, and if it's got a YouTuber's name and is, you know, a typical commentary video like, oh, I do not like X YouTuber, I do not like Y YouTuber, the truth about X YouTuber, you know? Like, criticism is something that YouTubers need, and they need that for multiple reasons: to improve their content, to stay humble, and to prevent them from carrying out scummy practices. If it wasn't for YouTubers calling out other YouTubers, we would have serious problems on this platform. There was YouTubers like Matt Watson, and of course, Matt Watson went on to carry out some scummy behavior himself, but, you know, he called out YouTube, and then he was called out for trying to cause another adpocalypse. YouTubers have been calling out ImAlexx for the last week or so for making false allegations against his former friend Slazo. And whilst that hasn't quite crescendoed at the time of making this video, it will. It will. Back in the day when iDubbbz would make a content cop on somebody, it would have the desired effect. It would give the YouTuber that he was talking about a good spanking, and then they would sort themselves out. They would re-rationalize themselves and step back and think about things. A couple of years ago, Pyrocynical found a CP ring on YouTube and directed his entire sub base to go and flag all those videos down. At some point last year or the year before, there were people trying to take advantage of the kiddies genre on YouTube, where people were dressing up as Spider-Man and Elsa to take advantage of the kids' super high rate ad revenue, but they were also, you know, doing some rather naughty things in those videos as well, and that was called out and that was dealt with. YouTubers have done great things and stopped just awful practices that have been going on the platform. You know, YouTubers have called out game devs for scummy behavior. I'm sure you guys remember the CS:GO gambling thing, and of course EA with the loot crates and loot boxes and stuff. You know, these things may appear to be negative. And yes, some people do get caught in the crosshairs because some idiot didn't do their research. Oh, ImAlexx. But for the most part, YouTubers have done wonderful, wonderful things, holding people and companies, game developers, to account for dodgy, scummy behavior. And if these new policies come in and it's in the form of a new bot that can detect the negativity from a video or detect that it somehow is criticism, then those videos will be buried or, you know, struck down or removed or completely demonetized, and they will never be seen by anybody. Or even worse, what YouTube might do, and it's what I think they most likely will do, is that they'll create a team, a special harassment team, so that when you, let's say for example, somebody makes a video on me, and I decide I think this video is harassment, I then go flag that video for harassment. That video then goes to the special team who handles it and looks at it. And then that video gets taken down because it was a direct response. Or maybe it'll be treated like punching up and punching down. For those who don't know what that means, I'm a YouTuber. I've got just over 5,000 subscribers. I'm relatively small on this platform. Me punching up would be me criticizing someone like ImAlexx. But if ImAlexx was to make a video on me, that'd be punching down because he has over 1 million subscribers. This was a big, big, big issue back in 2016. So maybe it'd be based on that. Or maybe YouTube will introduce special new rules where you find yourself unable to criticize specific members of what we call protected groups. And that's not even a UK thing. I mean, that's YouTube monetization rules. I know I'm just speculating, but it does give me a great cause for concern. Like, my other channel is filled to the brim full of response videos, and this channel obviously has a fair amount of response videos to them. Is there going to be some kind of bot
that can detect when you're using another YouTuber's content to kind of show the context of arguments, to somehow then go through and then delete those videos? And will these new rules be applied retroactively, I wonder? Will it result in strikes? Will just channel after channel after channel be completely yeeted? There are some who think that these new rules are already in place. I believe Memology 101 said this in his latest video when he was talking about these potential new rules. He had a little video going through his video dashboard showing pretty much all of his videos, not just demonetized, but that he'd requested reviews and most of them had been denied. Which I don't get, because Memology 101, when I've looked at his descriptions, he doesn't really, at least for the most part, link to original sources or original accounts. I don't really know how YouTube's going to stop this kind of thing, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit of a meme and a bit of a trope to suggest that, oh yeah, you want to get big on YouTube, then use bigger YouTubers' names in your titles and tags. So if algorithmically, it doesn't really make sense. What if you're defending another YouTuber? You're making arguments in defense of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see more positivity being pushed on the platform. But at the end of the day, YouTubers have the right to criticize other YouTubers and help shape the community overall. If I didn't have people to criticize me, then my content could never improve. I mean, granted, you'll rarely find somebody who's more self-critical than I am, but how can YouTubers improve if they're not criticized? Well, if they carry out scummy behavior, then who's going to call them out besides their own fan bases? I mean, if you look at again, I keep saying his name, ImAlexx. His fan base is not calling him out right now for his scummy practices, for not doing research, for making false allegations against his friend or former friend. I mean, we all know why this is happening in the first place, don't we? This has got way more to do with Carlos Maza and Steven Crowder than it does anything else, really. I mean, YouTube will say that it's not, but it is. It is. It's YouTube bending the knee to Vox and the media in general, listening to one individual who just won't shut up about the platform when he doesn't even know a thing about YouTube. You know, at this point, it used to be YouTube that liked to try to destroy its own platform, but now, I mean, it's under attack from every which way, isn't it? Use an alternative platform. No, there is no alternative platform to YouTube. It's as simple as that. YouTube is not dying. It's not dying. No matter what you think, it's not dying. It's making money. It's making money for the first time ever. And it's growing like crazy. And the alternatives, yeah, there are alternatives out there, but they're never going to grow unless the big normie YouTubers decide to start uploading their content over there. And we're a long way away from that at the moment. So I make these videos criticizing YouTube in the hopes that I can spread the message and hopefully YouTube will then look at me. They're never going to do that. And then listen to my concerns and think, oh wow, okay, maybe there's a lot more people that think like that. But guys, I'm sure you're sick to death of listening to me speculate and complain about YouTube. But if you care about the platform, if you care about the content that you regularly watch on the platform, then please let me know your thoughts down below. I'd really like to hear your takes on this, guys. Now I'm off to go make some response videos as Lord Bear and hope to Christ that YouTube doesn't throttle those videos, because I know how much many of you enjoy them. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I've been Alex of IrateAlex, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.